Hello. Welcome to second module of pharmacovigilance training. At the end of this module, you will learn important pharmacovigilance terminologies, some of them you might not be aware of. Let's look into the important terminologies in pharmacovigilance as per the ICH guidelines and regulatory authorities, which would help you in understanding further modules. The first one is adverse event. By the definition, adverse event is any untoward medical occurrence in a patient or a clinical trial subject administered a medicinal product and which does not necessarily have a causal relationship with the treatment. An adverse event can therefore be any unfavorable and unintended sign. Example, an abnormal laboratory findings. Symptoms or disease temporarily associated with the use of medicinal product, whether or not considered related to the medicinal product. That means adverse event can be anything that happened to the patient after receiving the medication. It can be a medical condition, or it can be a drug abuse or drug misuse, or it can be a lack of efficacy, or it can be abnormal lab data, or it can be some abnormalities found with ECG or any radiology findings, etc. The adverse event does not necessarily have to have a causal relationship with the treatment. Next one is adverse reaction, also known as adverse drug reaction or suspected adverse reactions. Adverse effect or undesirable effect. Adverse reaction is a response to a medicinal product which is noxious and unintended. Response in this context means that a causal relationship between the medicinal product and an adverse event is at least a reasonable possibility. An adverse reaction, in contrast to an adverse event, is characterized by the fact that the causal relationship between the medicinal product and occurrence is suspected. That means any adverse events that are happening because of the medicinal products, though the patients have taken, as per the information that is provided in the product labeling by the company. The major difference between the adverse event and adverse drug reaction is the causality. If any adverse event with a causality associated with the medicine, we consider the event as adverse drug reaction. As per the regulatory authority requirements, the adverse drug reactions are needed for expedited reporting. Hence, it's important to know what are the events to be considered as adverse events and which events to be considered as adverse drug reactions. Next one is serious adverse event or adverse drug reaction. Serious adverse drug reaction is any untoward medical occurrences or effects that at any dose results in death, life-threatening, requires inpatient hospitalization or prolongation of existing hospitalization, results in persistent or significant disability or incapacity, is a congenital anomaly or birth defect. And the final one is important medical event. Any event that may not result in death or life-threatening, or it requires hospitalization may be considered as serious adverse drug experience based upon medical judgment. It may jeopardize the patient or subject and may require medical or surgical intervention to prevent one of the outcomes listed in this definition. Seriousness criteria of death should be considered when the adverse event outcome is reported as fatal by the reporter. Seriousness criteria of life-threatening should be considered only when it is clearly reported or if the patient is in coma or requires any ventilator support. That is, patient is at the risk of death at the time of reaction. Seriousness criteria of hospitalization or prolongation of existing hospitalization should be considered when the patient is admitted into hospital because of the adverse reaction minimum of 24 hours. The seriousness criteria of disability should be considered when the patient became disabled or incapacitated due to adverse reaction. Example of such events: blindness or deafness or loss of any limbs or any discoloration to the teeth with the suspect medication. The congenital anomaly or birth defects. This criteria should be selected if a baby experienced adverse reactions when the mother exposed to medication during pregnancy. Example, phocomelia, a birth defect with shortening or loss of limbs due to thalidomide exposure. And the last one is IME, important medical event, where we use medical judgment. Few adverse events without meeting any of the above seriousness criteria should be considered as serious, which are called as medically significant events. There is a list available for important medical events maintained by MSSO and will be released along with each Medra version. Assessing the seriousness is really critical for processing the individual case safety reports because it impacts the regulatory reporting timelines. Next terminology is criteria for valid individual case safety reports. By the definition, individual case safety reports. The format and content for the reporting of one or several suspected adverse reactions to medicinal product that occur in a single patient at a specific point of time. A valid case has 4 minimum criteria. An identifiable reporter, an identifiable patient, an adverse reaction, and a suspect medicinal product. Missing of any of these 4 criteria will not allow us to process the case as valid individual case safety report. Next terminology is causality assessment. Establishing a causal association or relationship between a drug and drug reaction. The causality assessment is the assessment of relationship between a treatment drug and the occurrence of an adverse reactions. That means we are evaluating whether the reported event is related to the medicinal product or not. It is also used to understand how close is the relationship between the treatment drug and an event. There are several causality models have been proposed so far. All these models have been categorized mainly into 3 methods: expert judgment, probabilistic approach, and algorithm methods. Among these methods, the algorithm method seems easier in routine practice. They are mainly based on decision trees or successive evaluation of criteria resulting in a sum of scores. Based on the scores obtained as a result of algorithm criteria, the causality will be defined. WHO and Naranjo algorithms are commonly used in routine practice. Example of Naranjo algorithm: the causality will be assessed as definite if the score is greater than 95%, as probable if the score is 50 to 95%, as possible if the score is 5 to 50%, and doubtful if the score is less than 5%. Criteria to be considered while assessing the causality: treatment dates, time to onset of the events, medical history, concomitant medications, de-challenge or re-challenge information, and any other alternative explanations to the events. The next important terminology is event outcome. The outcome of the event reported at the time of reporting can be recorded either at case level or at event level. It's a good practice to record the outcome at both levels, event level and case level, where possible. The following are the different outcomes: not recovered, recovered, recovering, recovered with sequel, unknown, and fatal. Not recovered. We consider this outcome when the patient is still experiencing the adverse effect without any change in the condition since its experience at the time of reporting. Recovered means, at the time of reporting, the patient has recovered completely from the reported adverse reactions. Recovering. The outcome recovering will be considered when the patient condition is being improved but not completely recovered at the time of reporting the ADR. Recovered with sequel is an adverse event outcome where the patient recovered but retained pathological conditions resulting from the prior disease or injury. Unknown, this outcome is considered when there is no information available in the report. Fatal. This outcome will be considered if death is reported due to adverse reaction. Means, the cause of death is the reported ADR. The other important terminologies in pharmacovigilance are de-challenge and re-challenge. De-challenge. The de-challenge means the clinical decision to withdraw or discontinue a drug to monitor the effect on an adverse event. That means stopping of a drug usually takes place after occurrence of adverse event or at the end of the planned therapy. De-challenge can be complete or partial depending on what action taken on suspect drug, that is, whether the drug is completely withdrawn or dose is decreased. De-challenge can be categorized as positive de-challenge and negative de-challenge. De-challenges is positive when the adverse event subsides or disappears after stopping the drug or decreasing the dose. De-challenges is negative when the adverse event persists even after stopping the drug or decreasing the dose. Let's take an example. A person who is suffering from fever and the doctor recommended paracetamol. After the administration of the drug, the patient develops abdominal pain. Then the paracetamol treatment is stopped. That means de-challenge has occurred. Now, if the abdominal pain is subsided after the drug withdrawn, the de-challenge is considered as positive. If the abdominal pain is not as subsided even after the drug withdrawn, the de-challenge is considered as negative. Let's look into the re-challenge, the point at which a drug is given to a patient after its previous withdrawal. Re-challenge means restarting of the same drug after having stopped it, usually due to an adverse event. Re-challenge can be categorized as positive re-challenge and negative re-challenge. Positive re-challenge is reoccurring of the adverse event after restarting of a drug. Negative re-challenge means the adverse event does not reoccur after restarting the same drug. We should not confuse with the positive de-challenge and positive re-challenge. Positive de-challenge means adverse event disappeared. Positive re-challenge means adverse event reappeared. Let's take the same example we discussed earlier. The drug paracetamol is withdrawn after the appearance of adverse event. Suppose after a gap of week, the patient has again started taking the medication and the abdominal pain reappeared. Then this condition is considered as positive re-challenge. And if the abdominal pain do not reoccur, then it is considered as negative re-challenge. De-challenge and re-challenge plays an important role in evaluating a causal relationship. Special situations in pharmacovigilance terminology. Overdose. This refers to the administration of a quantity of a medicinal product given per administration or cumulatively, which is above the maximum recommended dose according to the authorized product information. Clinical judgment should always be applied. Off-label use. This relates to the situation where the medicinal product is intentionally used for medical purpose not in accordance with the terms of the marketing authorization. Medication error. This is an unintended failure in the drug treatment process that leads to or has the potential to lead to harm to the patient. Misuse. This refers to the situation where the medicinal product is intentionally and inappropriately used not in accordance with the terms of the marketing authorization. Abuse. This corresponds to the persistent or sporadic, intentional excessive use of medicinal product which is accompanied by harmful physical or psychological effects. And coming to the last one, occupational exposure. This refers to the exposure to a medicinal product as a result of one's professional or non-professional occupation. It does not include the exposure to one of the ingredients during the manufacturing process before the release as finished product. The last and the important slide in this module is MedRA. MedRA is a medical dictionary for regulatory activities. Medical Dictionary for Regulatory Use is a clinically validated international medical terminology used by regulatory authorities and the biopharmaceutical industries. MedRA terminology is used through the entire regulatory process from pre-marketing to post-marketing and for data entry, retrieval, evaluation and also for presentations. MedRA has different hierarchy levels. SOC System Organ Class, HLGT High Level Group Term, HLT High Level Term, PT Preferred Term, LLT Low Level Term. The term that we select for coding is low level term as it is reported by the reporter. For example, if the reporter has reported the term like feeling queasy, it's a low level term we select. So these are the different types of terminologies can be reported by the reporter. So all these terminologies are categorized into single medical concept as NOCIA, that is preferred term. Currently, there are 28 SOCs in MedRA. In the case processing, especially in ICSRs, that is individual case safety reports, we use MedRA code for all the medical conditions, that is patient medical history, product indication, and also adverse events. MedRA coding is mandatory for the regulatory reporting. And the data elements required for individual case safety reports, and if we don't code with MedRA, the reports will not be submitted to regulatory authorities. MSSO is a maintenance and support service organization. Maintains the MedRA. It will get updated twice in a year. And the major updation will take place in the month of March and the minor updates will take place in the month of September. With this, I would like to end this module. Hope you have learned important pharmacovigilance terminologies. I wish you good luck for the next modules. Thank you.